Hello, and I am the Namekian, and welcome to part 2 of my Let's Play of Atelier Totori. When last we left, I purchased a bunch of recipes, or books, or Alchemy recipes, and I am learning them. Whenever you get a new book or whatever, and you enter into one of your workshops, you go through this process of learning what you bought. Kind of show off some of my new toys. Make some more healing. At this level, quality and such, it's important, but it's not something that you have to be just overly critical with. I believe most of the stuff that I'm creating here now is going to be turned into quests eventually, more than actually being used. So don't really concentrate too much on that. Later on it does become more and more important, but for these beginning levels, it's really not that big a deal. Now, these traits that you assign are like additional properties that you assign to an item. It can either increase the quality or give it a particular ability, like higher effects rates, or raising a cost, lowering the cost. Various aspects that get added onto the product that you create, and those options become available by what products you use. So it's important, more so later on, to keep an eye out for what you assign to your items, because although you could have a quality item, A+ quality or whatever, but if it doesn't, some traits, you could have a C item that a trait actually makes it better to use or have than an A quality item. So kind of take some time and learn what they are. And if you see an item, one of your ingredients that has a trait that you're going to be wanting for something else later on down the road, like and kind of use a good sense, like an ingot or something that you would think that you would use for armor or weapons or whatever, and you see that it has a trait that you want, or what you need to do to add a trait to something that you want, then it's best not to waste that on an item that you're going to be turning in, or that may not be overly important. So it's good to just keep an eye on it. You can kind of ignore it, but some of the rarer ones, especially later on, you're going to kind of want to keep an eye on. And here is... good. Here is Melvia. She is the adventurer from the village that helped us out during the tutorials, and she's another player that we can hire as another sort of controllable character. She is exactly what you would think she would be. She's the tough, super strong character type or whatever. Not that really makes too big of a difference, but she's a pretty good character. And unlike Rorona, the game that came before this, as far as the storyline goes, you don't have to actually pay to recruit people. They seem to be a little bit nicer towards you. or yes, towards your goal, that they don't require coal for their services, which is nice. Now, the only thing that you have to kind of keep in mind, and this has more to do with the endings and getting particular endings, is your adventure level.
This will be our first quest as real adventurers.
Yup, our first adventure.
Where do you want to go? It should be a real journey. We could go to the desert, the jungle, even a volcano.
Let's try going to where we couldn't before. We can see those other places eventually.
And when is that gonna be? Let's go now.
We don't even know where those are. We became adventurers, but we're not magically stronger.
Fine. Let's hurry up and get stronger so we can go to those places.
Life would be easy if everyone could get stronger so quick.
Anyway, sorry about that. I'm gonna try not to get in the way of the actual voice acting. But basically what you see here is, since we got in an adventure, this is the first time that we see the world map as an adventure. So we get a whole bunch of new areas that we can go to. And as we increase our rank, more and more areas will become available. What I kind of generally do is I try to explore everything in a certain area until I rank up. You can only rank up when you go to our land. There isn't a way that you can rank up in Alanya Village. So I kind of try to keep things in the same area so that I make sure that I actually get to see the different areas and whatnot until I actually get a chance to level up. And then after I level up, then I'll do the Arland areas and then so forth and so forth. Anyway, back to the adventure level. It's kind of like your friendship level from the previous games that you have to deal with. For ending purposes, it's a lot simpler than it is for Rorona. Rorona is a pain in the butt for that. The goal is to... One second. Oh. The goal is to not put any adventurer over 60. I think there's dialogue here. Oh. I don't know why there's some stuff that's voiced and some that isn't, but the adventure levels, you don't want it to go over 60. Now, over time, just having them in your party, they will increase to 60 on its own. You just don't want to go over that. It won't go over that unless you do something to make it go over that, but 60 is the stopping point. So this is actually the first combat that I've been showing since I didn't show the tutorials. It works in a turn-based strategy type of gameplay. You see in the bottom left kind of the order on who's going to attack and so forth. When you see the R1, basically you have two bars below the character. That red bar, you have two separate bars.
Too easy.
You have that yellow bar, which is kind of split into 3 different sections. Whenever it fills up one section, you have various different options based off of the character and so forth. But basically, you have a defend option, meaning if there's a baddie that's going to attack Totori, to automatically defensively block Totori so that Totori does not get a damage, and the player gets an automatic defense, which reduces the amount of damage they would receive if they were attacked. The other is they can kind of perform a secondary after attack after Totori attacks. It comes pretty much, it comes really in handy later on. And I am doing a lot more damage now than you normally would at this level. I have higher level gear. Since this is a Game Plus, that's why I'm going so fast to it. The second bar that is below filled up for a while, but basically the more you use a character in battle in any one, be it blocks, being it secondary attacks or skills or whatever, that second bar will fill up, and when that second bar fills up all the way, your character will have like a special attack that it can do, a super special maneuver or attack. There's really only a handful of fights that you will actually be in the battle long enough for that to fill up all the way and use. It's not something that it's not something you're gonna be using every battle. So that's where that second one comes in. Now for skills, unlike Rorona, Totori does not have a skill set per se, but everyone else does. Skills are kind of, think of it as your MP, your special attacks, which, unlike your typical level or typical RPG fighter, you don't have a magic meter or stamina meter or anything else like that. You use a skill, and the skill cost is taken out of your HP, which I kind of think I like that way a little bit better than magic. It makes more sense, and it keeps you from spanning it later on. But pretty much every class has an option of Totori and one other character that we will pick up later on can use items, and they're the only two that can use items, be it bombs or healing or whatever the case need be. They're the only characters that can use items. No one else can. So unless your character has a healing ability or a healing skill, which there really isn't a whole lot in this game. Rorona has a few, but this game really don't. Pretty much you can only... Totori is pretty much the only character that you would have that would be able to use a healing item or healing slave. So that's important to kind of keep in mind when battling. As far as the gathering goes, you have up on the field, you can gather items. Oh. Basically that me swinging my staff at the beginning there, if you hit, quote unquote, hit an enemy before the battle starts, you'll get first attack privileges, which most of the time you do anyways, but you know, it's kind of helpful. Basically you get those icons that shows that you can gather items, which hopefully you'll see here in a second.
Oh, there they are. Whoops. Whoops.
They come in two different flavors. You've got a blue kind of a globe thing, and you have a yellow globe thing. The blue is kind of an indication of what you're going to pick up is going to be normal items, nothing really special. Your yellow or gold means that among the items that you are going to collect, there's going to be a rarity, either a higher quality or a lower quality item, or maybe even a rare item that you normally don't get on the map. So it's kind of keep that in mind. Unlike Rorona, sadly though, whenever you gather and whenever you battle, it takes up time in the day. So you kind of have to not waste time unless you don't really want the item or whatnot. There are ways to you'll be able to cut that down later on in the game, but it's a pretty significant chunk of time that it takes up. I think you can do like 3 or 4 gatherings per day. So that's a bit of a time waster there. Now, in some of these areas, since there's not a whole lot of excitement, I'll be pointing out some of the items that are important, like your feast, snowstone, and what was it, stemstone. Your feast and snow items, snowstone, are very important items. You're gonna want to gather those as often as you see them. The stem stones, really, they are important, but not nearly as important as the other two. Basically, you got a ton of recipes that require those those items or ingredients more so than the others, and that's what makes them a bit more valuable. Now, you see in that top left corner, I have a bunch of quests that I accepted from the bartender or whatever, and those are the due dates for those quests, which I absolutely love the fact that it's actually displayed. You don't really see that in Rorona, so that's what other improvement. And the penalty to not succeeding in them is not as great. Like you're not going to lose friendship values or whatever for not doing something or failing something or whatever the case may be. And you have, in replacement of the special ask feature, which it was in Rorona, it's replaced by kind of a quality thing. Meaning, if you turn in an item of a certain quality or a certain time or a certain amount, like if it's a hunting quest or whatever, if you kill more mobs than you're required to kill, you can get better items as rewards to finishing the quest.
Hey, they didn't notice us.
And as you see, Gino there is not really doing a whole lot of damage versus the others. That's because I never really updated his equipment when I played it initially. So he's gonna be weak. I don't think he has starting equipment. I think it's like maybe one level above, but it's definitely nowhere near the same level as the other players. That's just because I just never really used him much, and I won't be using him much in this playthrough. He's just rounding out the third character right now.
Wow, I won already?
Now, while your battle takes time, whenever you fight it, it takes time out of the day. The battle, so you can take time and strategize and do stuff. That's not going to affect your time. It's kind of like every time you enter a battle or do battle, it's going to take X amount of time no matter what you do in the battle.
Oh, there they are.
Wow, I won already? Hey, they didn't notice us.
That was way too easy.
Now, as far as the other items go that we've been collecting, magic grass is also very important use. Your logs or whatever, whatever is important. Beehives hides are super important. Your chain webs,
Way too easy.
not that important. Unis, kind of like the spiked ball things. They are kind of helpful in a few ingredients, but they can also be used as weapons, itemed weapons for Totori to throw, which is kind of cool. Especially if you don't have the higher level gear, That's pretty much a good way to kill some of those higher level baddies, like those vultures. They can be pretty tough starting out, and those unis actually do a pretty good amount of damage throwing against them. The other one, like, I think I show it. No, maybe not.
There they are.
Let's see what other puny balls and newts, whatever. Those puny balls are pointless. You're gonna collect
Was way
more than
too
enough of those
easy.
throughout your traveling, and only are really helpful in a few ingredients. The majority of the time that I use them are for supplements, which you can use pretty much anything for. There are a few recipes that specifically require those, but you're gonna find those just about everywhere. So those aren't that important. Now those noose are ingredients used for craft, which is a weapon item that you make through the alchemy, which is kind of like a spiked thing that you can throw. Starting off, actually, those items are actually pretty powerful, a little bit more powerful than the unis,
Way too easy.
and generally are used for a lot of the starting quests. But those are pretty valuable items.
I'm home. Oh, right. Setsy's at work.
Welcome home. You're back early today.
I'm home. I forgot you'd be here.
You came back at the right time. I wanted to tell you something. Here, take this.
What's this? An alchemy reference book? Where'd you get it?
Your teacher stopped by the village while you were at Arland. She was sad she couldn't see you, but she asked me to give that to you.
Oh, really? I wanted to see her too.
Her clothes were in tatters, and she looked like she was about to cry. She said she was lost for weeks, and one of her bombs suddenly went off, destroying all her food and luggage.
Teacher hasn't changed at all. This book looks a little burnt.
I asked her to stay until you returned, but she insisted she had to go. Now that you're an adventurer, I'm sure you'll see her somewhere out there.
Yeah, I guess so. Thanks, Dad.
All those icons that you see popping up are quest items that I meet that are used towards going towards increasing my rank when it comes to quests. It's important to keep an eye on and actually try to accomplish these, as many of these as you can. There are a few that are rank specific that you want to make sure that you clear before you rank up.
What should I do today?
I found you!
What?
I can't believe you fled to the middle of the boonies! Have you any idea how hard it was to find you?
Who are you again?
Don't play dumb with me! You stole my adventurer's license right under my nose! And
Stole it? I never! Oh, you're that girl.
huh, you're just pretending! Bare-faced liar! I'll have my revenge right now!
Revenge? But I didn't steal anything.
No excuses! Prepare yourself and look at this! Help! Hey! Open your eyes and look!
Huh? That's an adventurer's license?
That's right. I got it right after you.
Oh.
Is that it?
What do you mean?
I journeyed all the way to your backwater village, and that pathetic response is all you say to me?
Huh? What do you want me to say? Wow. You're pretty amazing. You got your license so easily. I, had to work so hard for mine.
Huh. Getting this was easy.
Okay, I'll be going now.
Where do you think you're going? I thought this was your home.
I guess it is. Did you come all the way here just to show that off to me?
I don't have that much free time. I'm here for something more important. Didn't you say you were an alchemist?
Yes, I guess you can call me that.
Oh.
Well, why are you glaring at me so hard?
Alchemists are exceptional people, where only 3 exist in this nation. You, however, look hardly exceptional.
What am I supposed to say to that?
Your face is plain, you look clumsy and mentally slow. A fool. No, solid foolishness.
Solid foolishness?
However, that's irrelevant. You're an alchemist, so I will hire you.
I know I'm not that smart, but solid foolishness? Wait, you want to hire me?
You should be honored to work under me. Now come with me.
Hold on! It's all so sudden. I have other jobs to take care of.
You're not satisfied with working for me?
It's not that. It's just so sudden. Oh yeah, I don't even know your name.
If you want to learn someone's name, it's polite to introduce yourself first.
I'm sorry. Why am I being yelled at? I'm Totoria Helmold.
I am Mimi Hoolier von Schwarzlong.
You sound like an aristocrat. Wait, Mimi?
What? You got a problem with my name?
No, that's not it. It sounds kind of cute. Mimi.
Who said you can call me by my first name?
But it's such a cute name. Mimi.
Cute? Ah, fine. I'll come again another time.
But wait, Mimi.
Stop calling me that!
I made her mad. Her name's cute, but she's kind of scary.
And with that introduction, we will end it for part 2. Thanks for watching, and God bless.